What is up? We are back and we are basically exposing Kody's lies. If you haven't seen part one, part two, part three, part four, we went over it all. Kody's interview, which was important because even though it was aired last year, we're now watching the season because remember, we're behind the season that it aired in. So it's made a lot more sense for us to go over it again because this is what matters. We're seeing what's happening quote unquote real time, but even though it happened last year, we're watching it now, which is what matters. So thank you for being here. Welcome everyone in chat. Replay watchers, we wish you had been here, but we love that you're watching on the replay. Thank you to all my members, my mods, commenters. Thanks for showing up. It's going to be a good show. You guys are pissed at some of the stuff collectively that we've gone over in this series. So we're going to let Kody have it tonight. We are debunking a lot of the lies that he told, a lot of the contradictions where we're kind of scratching our heads and saying WTF. Okay. So this is going to be good. Welcome, everybody. Let us start. I got some snarky comments. We did some research. We're calling him out to carpet because, that's what we do here. So let's start with, where do I want to start? Let's start with contradictions. Okay, so first we're going to go into this slow, okay? We're going to ease into this slow. We're going to go on contradictions first, which kind of just shows his credibility. Maybe he really doesn't think that he's lying, but it's like this word vomit where he says one thing and then contradicts it the next. And then we're just going to go into blatant, flat out lies. So I'm going to give him grace here, but he contradicts himself. So let's watch his first contradiction that we found in this interview. Let's roll it.
I know who are still successful in plural marriage, even with more wives, with 5 or more wives.
5 minutes later.
It's hard to look at polygamy and see people that are happy. It really is.
Oh, what? So this is perfect, right? Oh, wait. No, that's not it. Where is it? Oh, no. Where did it go? There it is. There it is. Hold on, it's coming. So this is from Black Swan, Gothica, this is amazing. I hope you're here, girl. You're usually here live. She said at the 48-minute mark, he says he doesn't know anyone happy in polygamy. Yet earlier he said he knew 4 or 5 families who were happy as polygamists. He is so diabolical in denial that he and Robin were always together and neglected everyone else. And Robin, the succubus, wait a second. Oh, we don't have that emoji. Dang it. We used to. Do you guys remember this? The parasite? Too bad we can't use that emoji. That would have been amazing. Maybe we have enough members now that I can add that. That would be great. Robin, the succubus, just keeps being the best Kama Sutra contortionist wife that led to all the destruction of the family. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. But yes, the 48-minute mark. So here he is contradicting himself once again. So I thought that was really interesting. Either you don't know anyone happy or 4 or 5 families that are happy, Kody. Like which one is it? That's why this man's word vomit is so frustrating, and it feels like I have to do algebra every time that I'm listening to him because my brain just can't take it. It goes into overload trying to analyze what this man is saying. So hold on. I want to see what you guys are saying in chat. Ooh, I have a good morning here. Good morning, Marie Hickson. Thank you for being a member, supporting the channel. I love seeing all the green in chat because it means you love me and you support me, and I so appreciate that. Right back at you guys. Okay. So let's do contradiction number 2. We're easing into this. This is baby steps here, okay? Before we get into the full-blown thing, okay? Here's contradiction number 2.
Friend one time when I was complaining about the struggles, this disparity in polygamy, and I'm like, listen, this disparity in fairness in plural marriage is just too much. And he said, no. He's a former polygamist, and he would be still if he hadn't had a wife leave. He said, there is no disparity in fairness if there's not a disparity in choice. In other words, if that woman can choose to be in your family or out of your family, then there's no disparity.
5 minutes later.
Let me start with this. There came a point in my life when none of my wives wished any of our daughters into plural marriage. We basically came to a point as a family, kind of not even discussing it, just all of us kind of came to this point where we were like, I don't want my daughter entering into plural marriage. That's a tell.
Yeah, it is a tell. It's a tell, Kody, because you just said 5 minutes ago that there is no disparity in plural marriage because women have a choice. So everything is fair. All's well that ends well. So if that's the case, then I understand the women don't want their daughters involved in polygamy. I totally get that because they understand, they experience it. You don't. But here you are saying that you don't want your daughters involved when 2 seconds ago you said there's no unfairness in polygamy. Get out of here. So once again, these are some contradictions that we wanted to point out that we couldn't do, immediately when we were watching, but it's just frustrating. Peach, this is so true. Peach said, Kody says whatever comes out of his mouth, that's it, which is why it is infuriating. Seriously, listening to him, he double talks, he backspeaks, he backtracks, he contradicts himself every 2 seconds. So, Belly Button says, I forgot this was live and I can chat watching on my TV and tablet. Love it. Actually, that's like the perfect combo. I love watching on the big screen and then either using your phone or, your tablet or something to type. Brilliant move. If anyone else is doing that, put a 1 in chat because that is the magic formula. I'm just letting you guys know. Belly Buttons like number 38. Love it. Thank you. And I hope you're comfy on your couch. Maybe a lazy boy. I don't know. But hopefully your feet are up. You have a little blankie, something nice to drink. That's what I'm hoping for you guys. Okay. So I thought that was really interesting. Those contradictions. Like I said, we're easing into it. But I want to... Oh my gosh. You guys got to stay tuned for this. Okay. There's a part that we have to listen to as far as it was hilarious actually watching the chat when there were the 3 phone calls that were taken. There was some serious shade and we missed it when we watched the first time. So we're going to go and we're going to watch that as well. So stay tuned for that because the comments they are insane. We're going to go over that. So don't you worry. We're going to go over that in a little bit. So let's do the next one. Okay. So these are all, listen, we're exposing Kody here. This is really frustrating because this is about Nancy. His comment about Nancy. And I'll just let him explain it because he does a way better job in his own words. I don't translate well. So we'll let Kody explain it. And then I didn't realize how many of you were as pissed as I was about this. So you guys had a lot to say. I handpicked some of the comments and how outraged you guys are. So let's listen to what he says. We're going to go over some of your comments and then we'll just have a big old discussion. All right. So listen to this.
I think plural marriage is much easier for women when they don't see their husband around that other woman so much, where they got 4 homes, maybe a mile apart from each other, rather than 4 homes in front of each other or 1 home. And when I did this design of the 1 home and I presented it to my family, I had a wife reject that. And I started to dig into why. And I realized that in some ways my family was in the way of my goals in plural marriage. And I got kind of, I got dark and cynical because I discovered that I was never going to be able to live plural marriage the way I wanted to live it. And I stopped believing that they were happy. My wives were happy in plural marriage. Now I'd had family counselors and therapists who sit down with me and say, hey, listen, your family's not going to be happier out of this family, or your wives won't be happier out of this family than they are in it. But I began to not believe that either. So the family counselor, who's a contemporary monogamist, was saying your wives will not be happier outside of this marriage than they are in it. which was good to know, but I didn't believe it. And so
I'm having trouble believing it too.
Yeah, so are we.
Because it sounds like what you're saying is that this counselor is saying that your wives will be as happy in a plural marriage relationship as they would be outside of it.
Together. She is saying, so just to clarify, she was saying that my wives would be as happy as they can be in the plural marriage that we had built as a family than they would be outside of it.
No. That doesn't even sound like Nancy. That's not something that a therapist would say. That's Kody's interpretation of it. You guys, you were letting him have it with this one, and rightfully so. Here we go. Dolores said, Nancy was explaining to him that it's not plural marriage, but the way the way Kody managed his marriages, that was the problem. Had he cared enough to take care of each individual marriage, those women would have found contentment and happiness. He was the problem. If he manages his current marriage the way he did his others, they won't be long for the making either, which is true. What Nancy was trying to say was it has nothing to do with plural marriage. It's about the relationship between you and Christine. That's what matters. Not about plural marriage. So don't make this, and which is so interesting because isn't that exactly, even though Nancy let them do that rock tower, you know what I'm talking about. When Nancy let them do the rock tower exercise, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about. During the counseling session, Nancy stayed back and she let him do what he needed to do, and that's totally fine. But in the back of her head, you know that she was thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to correct this later, because what Christine wanted to do was talk about their relationship, not the family. Isn't that basically what, in so many words, and Kody doesn't get that, which is so interesting. Somehow he's taking what Nancy said and now he's making it so he has zero accountability for anything. And it's like, well, Christine would have either been happy or not happy with or without me. Like, it's about her. No, dude, it's about you. So basically, you should have listened to Christine and actually fostered a relationship with her instead of making everything requirements about the family. This is about you. This is about your relationship with Christine. That's what it's about. Let's see. Here's another one. Cake House or Seek House said, I agree. What he said was not what Nancy probably said to him. Kody translated what Nancy said in his narcissistic brain to mean that they would be unhappy in any relationship. Okay, and then I really like this one. Alexandria Swan said, I think when Kody was saying his counselor, Nancy, told him that his wives wouldn't be happier outside the marriage, he was making a dig at Christine. He was implying that Christine isn't happier now that she's left him and married to David. See, I didn't even think about that because remember, at this time, during this interview, Christine had just gotten married 3 weeks earlier. And we know, if you'd watched the whole series with us going back in time, you know how many times Kody teared up talking about Christine, reminiscing about Christine, admitting that he loved Christine in this interview. So you know that he has Christine on the brain. Okay, so number one, I don't think Nancy said that and Kody's lying, or he has Kody brain and interpreted it in his own way. That's what I think, honestly. Or number two, Kody's delusional. No matter what he says, Christine is so much happier now. Agreed, Alexandria. Agreed. How many more times can I agree? Let's see what you guys are saying. Like number 47, Amy Weidenhouse, love it. Megan said it was a tantrum from Baldy-Lux that a wife dared tell him no. Sarah K said Kody can't admit when he's wrong. Agreed. Christine has a real man now. Yes, Sarah. Belly Button said he is the only important person who matters in the family as far as he's concerned. I wonder if he realized that Robin has been laughing at him. Would he start to question his fixation on her? Is she laughing? I didn't even know that. When? When is she laughing? That's new to me. Okay. So let's see. There is more. Let's see. Oh, okay. So remember, I was going to ease into this. So we wanted to do, some contradictions at first, maybe some things where he, I don't know, misunderstood or misinterpreted. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. So we went from cold to lukewarm, and now we're just going to get into red hot. Like all of Kody's basically flat out lies. And this one, remember, I said that we were going to research this one, and your girl did some research. So let's listen to Kody. He explains something, he throws something out as fact, and then I'm trying to research and see if we can corroborate what he's saying. So let's see if we were able to. Okay, so listen to Kody here.
Women who want to have children, and I've had a lot of children. And I'll be honest with you, if I would have married in monogamy, I would have wanted to have 8 or 10 kids with one woman. And the average in my family is less than 5 per wife. Not necessarily by choice. It would have been, the average would have ended up probably being, would have probably been, but I had 2 wives who chose to end at 6, and they didn't feel any pressure to have any more after that. So these churches need tithing. They need people. They need brains to brainwash, and so none of them would listen to me. I'm the failed polygamist who put egg all over their face. Now, but my advice would be to let them have a happy life. So 1, allow them to choose who they marry, both men and women, because in some of the sects, the women get to choose who they marry and the men don't. Other sects, like the men get to stack them up, and depending on if you're kissing the behind of the prophet enough, you're going to end up with a lot of wives. Ridiculous. Figure a number that works. Like what is the Quran will only allow 5 wives, or is it 3? I don't even know. But holy cow, 10, 12 wives? Give me a break. Is that a life for a woman to have? I mean, I had 4 wives and it was hard for them. I think my wives would have been, if my family would have been smaller, it would have been maybe easier. But the more wives you have, the more likely your failure rate. And that's just statistically out of my own church. They say, once you get more than 3 wives, the ratio of failure exponentially higher.
So remember, we were like, we need to do some digging into this, right? We did. We said we need to do some digging. And because it sounds like a kind of a cop-out, doesn't it? Because if that statistic, this random statistic that we've never heard of before, would basically excuse Robin coming into the family or having any blame on Robin whatsoever. That's basically what it's doing, is it not? That would be excusing Robin's behavior. That would be excusing the entire world saying, wait a second, things changed when Robin came into the family. She's the huge cause for everything blowing up. Because isn't it odd that there were 3 women that married him within 18 months and stayed married for 21, 22 years and everything was fine. And once this other woman comes in after 21, 22, 23 years of marriage, everything falls to hell. Well, nope, that has nothing to do with Robin. That's just a statistic. Okay? So we did some research. Let's see what we found, shall we? Let's see what we found. Let's go in here. Okay, so I typed in AUB failure rate after 3 wives. And as you can see, there's nothing. There's things about abnormal uterine bleeding. There's nothing. So I typed in polygamy failure rate. Let's see what it says. While there are no definitive statistics specifically on polygamy failure rates after 3 wives, research indicates polygamy, especially with multiple wives, has a significant failure rate. That has nothing to do with after 3 wives, anything failure. So we're going to go down. I don't see anything. Kody, I don't know what you're talking about. Big fat lie. Big fat lie. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. Risk of heart disease. No. There is absolutely zero. So, Kody, we are calling you to the carpet. That is a big fat lie. Lie. Lie, 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 lie. Yes. Yes, Kathy. And once again, the reason that he's doing that is to spare his precious, to spare his numero uno, because it's so obvious that because of her and him, but I mean her coming to the family, his behavior changed. So I'm not blaming it all on Robin, but because Robin came to the family, he changed his behavior, but she was a catalyst to all of that. All of it. 49er says, our coaster would never lie. Never. Yeah, he would never lie. Absolutely not. Lie detectors. I want to see lie detectors in chat. Okay. So I thought that was fascinating. Fascinating, fascinating. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's a red hot lie. But the thing is, I need your guys' help on this. I need your guys' help on this because I could not find it. So let me just do this because this is a big one. This is a big one, but I wasn't able to duplicate it. So if you guys know, let me know the timestamp in the episode because I would love for us to just watch that together. Watch his blatant lie together. Listen to this. This is from Shinjanambas. Those are just random letters typed together. That's what I see. So she said, wait a minute. He said he was 14 when his mom joined the AUB. He has said for 19 seasons he was on a mission with the LDS, came home, and his mom let him know she was going to be polygamist. So he researched it and joined as well. This man cannot keep his lies straight. Okay, so I'm sure I could find that moment in the interview, but if you guys have it, if you could give me a timestamp. But also, I don't know where he said this in the actual Sister Wives show. So I really want to see the side-by-side comparison with that. If you guys could help me, if we could just make this a collective group effort. Oh my gosh, I would be so happy because this is not something I can create on my own. So I'm calling all of our forces to unite. And if we could do this together as a team, I would be so appreciative because this is a big one. This would be a big lie that we could blatantly call out. I would love to see it. So if you guys could help me, hold on. What are you guys saying? I'm Charming said there was an episode where he was at his parents' farm. Yeah, but I don't even remember which episode that was. I do remember that I'm Charming, but like there's so many. I don't know which one that is though, James. I don't know. Let me see. Syracuse said, wait, his father married Janelle's mom right before he married Janelle. Yes. I know. That's why I just need hold on. I'm Charming said, I don't know for sure. I can literally see the clip playing in my head, though, of him saying that. And I know. And that's the thing. I cannot. I couldn't get it done. And I don't know. If you guys could tell me the episode, that would be amazing. So let me know. Oh, really? Okay. Season 2, episode 11, you think? I'll look at that afterwards. Hold on. Let me. Season 2. Episode 11. Okay. We will see. Okay, Becky said he was 14 when his mom joined the AUB, 19 when his dad took another wife. Okay, let me read the comment again. He said he was 14 when his mom joined the AUB. Okay. And that he said for 19 seasons he was on a mission with LDS, came home, and his mom let him know he's a polygamist. At 19, his dad took another wife. So he researched it. And see, that just sounds shady. It doesn't sound like the two stories add up. We're going to have to listen to his words. We're going to have to see that. Okay, Julie said it was the same episode where he was talking to his high school friends when he explained he came back from his mission and his mother had joined the AUB. Okay, see, Julie, yeah, if you guys can, I don't even know which episode that is. So if you let me know. Okay, I'm reading all the comments. This is crazy. So yeah, just let me know. Let me know. I thought that was really interesting, and it's something that I just want to debunk. I want to hear his words, play it back to back, so that we're not like guessing or speculating. Because even one difference of a syllable is going to change everything. So I just want to know. Okay. So I thought that was super, very, 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 very interesting. So yeah, so I will wait for your guys's input in the comment section with the timestamps and everything. That would be amazing. Okay. And there's still more. There's more. Okay, so we caught him in that lie. Let's see, what's another one? Oh, this is actually, I wish, you guys know how I am with interviewers, and I get so frustrated because it's like, no, like hold him. You asked a question, you let him veer off. Fine, let him veer off, but at the end, get back to the original question. Or at least when he says a statement, make sure he explains it. So I want you guys to listen to this because it's really irking me. Maybe it won't irk you guys, but it did irk me, which I'm like, I wish that there was more follow-up. So listen to this. Listen to what Kody says here.
They don't want to be overly critical. They can't. They don't want to be the wife that nags. They don't want to be the wife that's looked at by everyone as being the one who's causing any sort of trouble. So they will feel a lot of pressure to put on the best appearance for the day that they've got you and in their communication with the rest of the family. And I imagine that the husband, and no knock on any of you guys, like this religious system commands you to do this and you did it. But the other side of it is that for the man who is getting his time split up among all of these women, it seems as though there is some room to maybe not, at least especially as you said, like in the early parts, not be criticized. You almost get the best version, the happiest version of each of these women. And I'm just curious, like how that dynamic plays out.
It just doesn't work. They sooner or later they're going to explode. Everybody gets in a bad place, and ironically, there's a woman who shares her husband has given so much that in the path to perfection, sometimes she might feel like that's enough. I felt like I was constantly doing this dance where I was like, hey, are you okay? Are you happy? I want you to be happy. I'm just trying to make everybody happy all the time. And it's kind of like running around all the time trying to keep everybody happy. And that was my job. And their job wasn't to keep me happy, even though, as a smart woman, that's going to work better for you. But they felt like they had given enough. And so there was always, I don't remember a time where I don't remember a very long time when all of my wives seemed like they were happy.
So he was saying what each job was. And that's what I wish that they had gone back to, because he was like, well, my job is to run around and make sure that they're happy. He never talked about what their job was. And I wish I would go back and be like, okay, that's great. What did you mean? What did you think that their job was? Because he implied, and that's the thing, I would need clarity, because if he's saying that their job was, it was done after they allowed him to have other wives, and that's the agreement, and they didn't have to do anything else, it made it seem like that's all that they thought they had to do, but that there was more to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I would love to know, in Kody's mind, what was that? He said it has nothing to do with pleasing me. Then what was it? So he clearly identified what his job, what he thought he was supposed to do. But I would have loved to know what he meant by what his wives were supposed to do. And he just kept rambling on and they let him go. And I'm like, no, I would have gone back and asked that specific question and made sure that he gave an answer. Like that is fascinating to me. Okay. So I told you guys this is going to be so good. Talk about so much shade. So much shade. This is going to be so good. Okay. So basically, and I didn't pick up on this before, but with the callers, and there's debunking in the lies that he told with the callers. But before we do that, or as we're doing it, you have to look at the snark. Oh my God. The snark coming out of chat is like the gem of all gems. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. Hold on, Sarah K. You know what? We haven't done one of these in forever. Let's see. Oh, wait. Actually, we'll just do that. This is fitting. Let's do.
All the relationships are being nurtured, and the family is being nurtured.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Thank you, Sarah, for the $1.99 super chat. Sarah K said, "Have babies and worship him. Babies and worship him." I mean, you know what? Wouldn't that have been great if we had gotten that on tape? That would have been amazing. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so are you guys ready for the snark? Are you guys ready? Oh, I like this. Maggie said, are we talking about Kody's biggest lies? I want to talk about the lecture he gave McKelty and Tony about being chaste before marriage. No, this is only the lies from the season 19 interview. However, Maggie, maybe we do that next. Maybe we debunk just all of Kody's lies outside of the interview next. That's a really good one. We should go over that. Okay, so let's do this. Where is it? Okay, here's the taking calls, and reading the snark is so amazing. Are you guys ready? This is so good.
Hourglass here. There we go. Caller, are you there? Whoop, let's try something
This is the
here.
first call.
Let's try that. I think
Testing, testing.
Look at that. What's the name, caller?
Hi, Allison. How are you guys?
Allison, awesome. Glad to have you on Mormonism Live with Radio Free Mormon and myself, Bill Reel, and our guest, Kody Brown.
Okay, so right now, everyone has been anticipating the phone calls, right? So this is the first phone call. You see, Laura Lee says, "I'm nervous." Corey is saying, "Called." Emerald Dragon wants to throw nachos at the screen. So here we go.
Like to share?
Hi, gentlemen.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi, Kody. Listen, we have a lot of the same friends. It's not really a small world, or maybe it is. I'm a religious studies sociologist. I've studied fundamental Mormonism for 22 years. I simply wanted to call and thank you.
Okay, so Laura says, I don't understand why the hosts are allowing him to go on and on unless not only believe what he says, but endorse it. Okay, so people are so excited about the calls. They're thinking that Kody is about to get it. And that doesn't happen with the first call. And you have to see the chat go insane. This is so good.
As someone has a heart for fundamentalists and
here we go. Rena says, I hope some of y'all ask the questions we need answers to. Okay. Boots on ground, ask something good. They're waiting. And here's the thing that's interesting. Hold on. I want to go.
more.
Here we go. The Froggy said, drop the number. Here's what's weird. And now I'm starting to have a little conspiracy theory. And I don't know. I mean, this totally could be above board and legit. But what's interesting to me is you're going to see in chat, a lot of people are saying drop the number. Where's the number? How are people calling in? Which it just was it pre-planned? Or it just seems weird. Like, where are these? How did the chat not have the number to call in, but certain people did? Do you understand what I'm saying? Unless they just didn't see it. Because sometimes I pin comments in chat and like you guys don't see it where it's like, hey, join from here. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But there were so many people saying, where's the link? I want to call in. I want to ask questions. And they couldn't find it. So like the few people that did get on, where did they get it? I don't know. Seems a little sus. But Raiders Ma, thank you for being a member for a month. Said I think you should do an all-star lie Sister Rise edition. They've all lied. That's true. That is true. Raiders Ma, that would be maybe we do. You know what? That would take. I don't think I would be able to do that in a day. That would take a little bit of time. But I love the idea. I love the idea. Tomorrow, let's do the like let's do what was suggested. Let's go over the whole McKelty and Tony Chase Kody giving them a pep talk. Now knowing everything that we know about him. We'll do that tomorrow. But yes, I love that. That's just going to take some time to put together, Raiders Ma. I love it. I love it. Okay, so you're going to see. Look how many times people say drop the number, which is weird. Okay, so here we go.
This is a monumental interview of vulnerability from much less someone that's like a quasi, fundamentalist. I don't know, but your vulnerability and your humility is appreciated. That's all I will say. Thank you.
Look, okay. You guys are saying it's basically us, we are part of this. They're saying, ew, barf, yuck. Gretchen said these calls are going to be specifically picked. Next call, barf. And then Only Me said, Jesus, Allison, you failed us all. Barf, what? Nicole says, was this planned? It gets so bad.
From the bottom of my heart. You guys have a great night.
Oh my gosh, damn it, Mona Lisa. You see, these are the questions that would have been asked if I feel like if there were, I don't know, if more callers had access to having the number. Mona Lisa said, you failed your family. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine those words starting out when he hears? If he was able to hear that call, oh my gosh, this is so savage. You failed your family and the world, not only your family, but the world, regarding your initial mission, which was to promote polygamy. Now that plural marriage is legal in Utah, you do not seem to care. All your protesting for nothing. Froggy said this is a plant. Okay, this is how shady this is. CB said, Mary. Mary, is that you? That is so shady. That is so shady. Rena said, goodbye, Allison. Not what we were looking for. Stop feeding the ego.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Allison.
Thank you for the call. How does that make you feel, Kody?
Well, it's the first time I've been called humble. Thank you.
The chat's just going, hold on, let's see. Thanks a lot, Allison. Are you serious, Allison? What a joke. Boots on Ground said next. Hold on. That's true. Tad Daniel says that wasn't even a question, which is why now I'm going into my conspiracy. There was no question. That was a comment buttering him up. Look how happy Kody looks right now. And it's true. That wasn't a question. You're supposed to be having 3 callers ask 3 questions, and that was like an ass-kissing statement.
I think it is risky, right? You know, to sit here and not know what questions.
Barf, there's tomatoes. Debbie said that was a wannabe sister wife. Oh my gosh.
We're going to ask. Have
Allison perfectly picked. Stop this call. There's no true callers then. True. Sandra Jordan said 3 calls and they took this one Do you know how many amazing questions we would have had? So weird.
No idea where the conversation's going to go. So there is a degree, certainly, of vulnerability, and we appreciate that.
Well, you guys are both, I think, both.
Wait, I gotta go back. I see some F-bombs. Hold on. People are really pissed. Where is that?
I think both non-antagonistic ex-Mormons, and
blaming it on Mary. Sabrina said Mary calls in. Everyone thinks that's Mary. People said that sounded like Mary.
Okay. And I are friends, so anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
WTF was that? Boo.
We've never seen Bill riled.
I can be antagonistic a little bit.
You again said humble like a shark. Clown tomatoes. Ashley said that call was a stab to my kidneys. That's a good one.
I heard you two both poking a little bit.
Yeah, we do a little bit of that, but I
see, and here's another one. Debbie Donovan is like, hey, can I get a number to call in? Where's the number? There's a lot of people asking where the number is, which is so right, Maggie. These comments are so good. Someone said wasted. See, I missed that one. I mean, this is so crazy. Okay, let's keep going.
Also, I want to completely respect the fact that you've given us an evening of your time, and it.
Yes, that is so true. Mrs. Kickstand said a phone call wasted. Like, that's like Kody lore. You know that, right? That's hilarious. Oh, these are so good. And this is true. Emerald Dragons is like, I know that was a plant. When can we interview him? When is it going to be our turn?
I told you in the beginning, this wasn't going to be a game of.
There's another one. Look at this. Holly Ashton. How do we call in? So I don't know. I'm starting to listen. I have questions. More tomatoes. I like this. This sounds like something one of you guys would say. Christy said, I don't want to talk to him. Like, well, someone needs to take one for the team.
Watch here trying to corner you. I really want to give you a chance to talk about the TV show, to talk about living polygamy, and to talk about your religious faith. And so I think we did that. All right. Caller, you are on.
Here's another one asking to drop the number. T Froggy said, no one is subscribing with these plant calls. Drop the number. Ask a real question. How are his kidneys? That would have been a good question. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Someone said that should be the question. How are his kidneys? Oh, that is good.
What is the name? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the show. What's the name, caller?
My name is Kelp.
Oh, yes.
Kelp?
I was just wondering, you explained in the last episode how you thought a wife was disloyal if she kept her from her husband, but Robin does the same.
There's another one. Celinda, call-in number. How do we call? Holly Ashton. How do we call? Celinda saying, call-in number. I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out every time chat is like, how do we call it? Okay.
Thing from her first husband. How do you explain that difference?
Robin never did that. He had access to them all the time.
Okay, so I told you, not only are we going to be reading the chat shade, but there's things that we need to go into. Okay, so I was able to, you guys told me about a message that Robin allegedly wrote to David that somehow got out, which is interesting. So we're going to read that, right? So here's Kody. He's like, stop the line. That never happened. What are we doing on tonight's show, you guys? We are exposing Kody's lies. So here we go. Here is him protecting Robin. And we have proof from this alleged letter that Robin wrote to her ex-husband. Here it goes. Ready? David, don't make this any more difficult than it needs to be. You're aware that you don't care about the kids. Never do you contact them or go to see them. The child support is not paid by you. They don't even get birthday cards from you. They don't really see you as their father. Kody is now their actual father more than you ever did, and he loves them. He looks after them and keeps them safe. He treats them as though they were his own. And likewise, he desires to bestow his name. That sounds like, I feel like that's something that Kody would say. I wonder if Kody wrote this or put his finishing touches on it. Because you know that they looked at it together. Either Robin wrote it and was like, hey, babe, you look at this. Or Kody wrote it and was like, hey, babe, look at this. But that sounds like Kody speak. That's like, he always says the word bestow. I don't think Robin uses that word bestow. That sounds like Kody. Okay. Likewise, he desires to bestow his name onto them and include them in his family. You will regret not signing the papers for the rest of your life. That sounds like a threat. Does it not? Chat, I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you think that's kind of threatening. Or 2 if you don't think so. You will regret not signing the papers for the rest of your life. Interesting. Your kids are lost to you forever. They'll despise you for ignoring them and putting your pride ahead of their fulfillment. They won't ever forget you or communicate with you again. Interesting. Maggie said, Robin does not use big words. Okay, fair. Okay. Here we go. Consider what's best for the kids, not what's best for you. They should have a secure, caring family with a concerned father. They ought to be loved instead of rejected. They ought to be content rather than happy. Avoid being egotistical and stubborn. Be neither a jerk nor a coward. Don't be a failure or a loser. I mean, can't we send this letter to Kody? Couldn't we send this exact letter? Couldn't Christine let me take that back because Christine can deserve it. Couldn't Christine send this exact same letter, change the name David at the top, and put the name Kody? Wouldn't that go pretty much the exact same as what's happening with Kody and Christine's whole custody battle? Isn't that interesting? Okay. Where am I? Don't be a failure or a loser. Sorry, that's where I was. Do the right thing and act like a man. Let go of the past and sign the papers. Live your life and let us live ours as you move on. Tomorrow rains. Good point. Contradicting statements. Kody wrote it. I mean, I think the whole bestow his name, that sounds so like Kody. So you can tell that if this is this is an alleged note. So if this is correct, that definitely sounds like Kody. Okay. So no. So there is Kody once again. Let's go back to him lying, him saying, no, that didn't happen. That never happened. No.
Husband, he's dying of cancer. Do her kids know that?
Her kids have chosen. Well, let's go this direction. This is one I'm going to have to pass on, guys, because this is about somebody.
So the chat is so amped up and fired up. Look at them. It's going so fast. They're so excited. Sabrina said this chat is giving me life.
Else and somebody else's life. I'm not interested in answering that question. Thank you.
No worries. I'll drop the call.
Thank you.
Yeah, no sweat. All right. And this will be the last call we've got. We usually,
Hold on, let's see. Oh, okay, you guys. I've never seen you again in chat, but did you guys notice what you again said? Do you guys see what you again said? You again is a secret IQ watcher. She or he has been watching or lurking. I don't remember seeing you again in chat. You again, if you're here, speak up, because do you notice what you again said? You again said it's a real big deal. Codester. Who came up with the nickname Codester? You're only going to hear that on my channel. It originated here, which is kind of amazing. So one of our viewers at least was there and they called him Codester. So I love it. I love it. Okay. Of course he's going to pass. Agreed. Agreed. All right.
we take 3 calls and this will be the 3rd one. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Name?
You know what's so funny? Like everyone, so the caller number 2 is nickname is Kelp. I feel like maybe she got cut off and that's not her actual name, but it did sound like Kelp. And I wonder if she was a troll, because Kelp is obviously of the sea. It's of the seaweed, persuasion. Is she a little salty? Was she throwing a little bit of salt, some shade? Yes. So we love Kelp. And what you're going to see is everyone basically loving Kelp. Like Kelp is the MVP in chat. You're going to see that a lot, which I absolutely love.
Hi, is it me?
Yep, it's you. What's the name?
My name is Oh, awesome. My name is Amy L, and I'm calling from California.
Awesome.
And I wanted to ask Kody, do you still believe in eternal marriage and the covenant that you made, with all 4 of your wives? Do you expect to be reunited with any of your now ex-wives on earth in the afterlife?
No. I'm not saying I don't believe in eternal marriage, but I think that's on the merits of the marriage and how God judges it. I think the covenant of eternal marriage is something leadership, maybe Joseph Smith.
Oh my gosh, wait a second. I got to go back. This is actually, where was that? Oh, that was such a good comment. Okay, let me find it. Let me play it from here.
I'm not saying I don't believe in eternal marriage, but I think that's on the merits of the marriage and how God judges it. I think the covenant of eternal marriage is something leadership, maybe Joseph Smith, they made up this stuff. And the reason that they made it up was because they wanted to give power of people over other people in a relationship. By the way, thank you for the question, Amy, but I totally...
No. Let me go back. Where the heck was it? That was such a good comment. Let me try from here.
Of your wives, do you expect to be reunited with any of your now ex-wives on earth in the afterlife?
No. I'm not saying I don't believe in eternal marriage, but I think that's on the merits of the marriage and how God judges it. I think the covenant of eternal marriage is something leadership, maybe Joseph Smith, they made up this stuff. And the reason that they made it up was because they wanted to give power of people over other people in a relationship. By the way, thank you for the question, Amy, but I totally believe.
Okay, I can't find it. I think it's back. I'm not going to go back again 4 times, but there was a comment that basically said, what a cop out for you to pass on it, because it's like, this isn't my story to tell. It wasn't said in that way. It was worded so well, which is why I was trying to get it, but I don't want to go back again. I already tried to tap back 3 times. I'm not going to do that to you guys a 4th time. But that kind of is really thought-provoking, because now that I think about it, wait a second, like, Kody, you and Robin got money based on a storyline about adopting these children and putting him, the ex-husband, in the forefront of whatever season that was, Robin crying, saying he basically stole her, her purity, and then that he was a horrible person. And then on top of that, that whole adoption, that was a whole storyline for an entire season. Actually, I think 2 seasons, because one was trying to adopt, and then it was the aftermath of the adoption. And the picture, that weird, creepy picture, all of that had to do with this man. So you're telling me, what do you mean? What do you mean that's not your story to tell? You've already told his story for many seasons. So what a hypocrite. Once again, contradiction and a big fat lie. So anyway, that's what I wanted to point out. Let's keep going.
It's a control issue, and it's an issue of they introduced plural marriage at the same time they introduced eternal marriage. And what that did is that gave men the opportunity to have more than one wife, while the wife had the promise of having her husband indefinitely, because simply of the psychology of the two different sexes and what they look for in these relationships. So I'm not saying that I don't believe in eternal marriage, but I think that's on the merits of the marriage. And if you didn't have your stuff together or didn't like each other in this life, you're not together in the next life. And I argue that point with Robin's other mother all the time, because she wants that marriage. She wants to own that man in the next life. And I feel bad for him because I'd be running from her. Hopefully she's not listening. Oh, wait, God, can you guys edit that out? There's people that know that.
Let me say,
Like this. There's more shade in chat. Ashley said, hashtag justice for David. And Alicia said, justice for Kelp. They want Kelp to come back up.
this, which if I hear you correctly.
Okay. So yeah, so basically the rest of it, that was it. Like the chat is just pissed at everything that happened. But yeah, there's pretty much no other snark than that. That's pretty much all of that. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Kathy said Kody is lying. If he didn't care, he wouldn't have cared if Christine left him. Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. Hold on. Mommy Cat said, her kids have chosen. Are you kidding me? They don't get to make decisions for themselves. Daddy, can I get baptized in a church I like? And she's what, like 20, 21? Yeah. Yeah. That is true. No, Sarah K, we listened to 3. The first one was so quick, and it was just a compliment on how like brave and courageous Kody was. That's why the chat was pissed. So it was, oh, you're so wonderful. That was call number 1. It was like 2 seconds. And you're so humble, Kody. You're amazing. That was 1. The second one was Kelp. That was that basically called him out with Robin. And then the third one was the will you be with wives eternally after in the afterlife? Those were the 3. I know, and that's why people were pissed at the questions, because there was waste of questions. So yeah. So I thought that was so good. Tracy's Fractured History and More said, going back to yesterday, I do believe that Janelle is his unrequited love, which in my mind makes him a very sick man. That's true. Oh my gosh, this is what a lot of people are saying too. Megan said, and a lot of people are saying this, Megan, if you watch the clip of Robin's kids finding out they will be adopted, just look at Dayton's face. He was not exactly jumping for joy. Yeah, I just, I can't necessarily believe the things that Robin and Kody say, especially about this. I just can't. All right, so let's see. There was something. Okay, Vixen said, pop question. Where did this Nancy come from? Because if she's a therapist that specializes in polygamy, okay, think about who suggested her really, because polygamy is not natural. My guess is AUB. Yeah, so Nancy does not specialize in polygamy, Vixen. She's actually a monogamous therapist. And what happened was their therapist that did specialize in polygamy moved to Texas. So that, and they were super sad about it because Kody talked about it before, how their therapist before was very reassuring and wanted to validate everyone's opinions and their thoughts. And Nancy's like the opposite. Nancy's more about accountability. And so what ended up happening was so the therapist moved from from Vegas to Texas, and she's the one that actually recommended Nancy. But Nancy does not specialize in polygamy. So I hope that makes sense. So I wanted to answer that for you, Vixen, and thank you for being a member. Thank you for supporting the channel. You're amazing. Okay. So tomorrow, we will do this Raiders Mom later. We'll do an All-Star Lives, Sister Wives edition. That's such a good idea. However, that's going to take a while to put together. So what we'll do is a mini All-Star Lives. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to go over the Kody being a big ass hypocrite as normal with his whole purity speech to McKelty. Yeah. So that'll be good. We will do that tomorrow. Unless there's another breaking news or something, but that's what I have planned for now. Okay, so with that being said, thank you for being here. If you haven't watched parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, you'll definitely want to. And we're going to dedicate a song, as we always do, to something fitting. And I think the most fitting for Kody, I think you know it, is our song, Deadbeat. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to play this out. I hope you watch it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming.
Tell the whole world. Tell the world. And then go hang out with your buddy, Christine.
Each describe Kody in 3 words.
Just 3?
Yes.
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Dad. Sorry, that's 2, but deadbeat dad and deadbeat, he is selfish. Deadbeat.
You haven't seen one of them for a year.
Deadbeat.
This is about a deadbeat dad.
You're hurting this family,
Deadbeat.
no one else. You're not loyal, just like your mother. And I was like, okay.
Why are you angry with your children? You haven't seen 2 of them for 5 months.
Deadbeat.
I'm going to move forward and find happiness and joy outside of my club.
Each describe Kody in 3 words.
Just 3?
Yes.
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Dad. Sorry, that's 2, but deadbeat dad and deadbeat.
The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him.
You haven't seen one of them for a year.
Deadbeat.
This is about a deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat.
Why are you angry with your children?
You a deadbeat.
Deadbeat. He is selfish. Deadbeat. He seems to be sort of like, I don't know, like the reality is bewildering to him, kind of. Deadbeat.
Divorced, and then the father just goes MIA.
A deadbeat dad speaks from prison and explains the question so many people are asking: what went wrong?